Today we are showing you the Youngdale self-closing knife hinges. There are several different models, finishes, and special conditions of these hinges. This hinge includes a wraparound feature. This hinge does not. Standard finishes include antique brass, antique copper, nickel, bright brass, and white powder coat. In order to install the hinge on a door, we need to cut a slot in the door which this portion of the hinge will fit into. We will be showing you two machines today for cutting that slot. The first piece of equipment that we want to show you today is what we call a notching jig. Notching jig is mounted on a table saw. It consists of two hinged fences. The fences are mounted on a carrier, which is then mounted onto a backstop. In order to adjust the length of the cut, the backstop is adjusted forward or backwards on the table saw and then clamped into place. In order to adjust the distance from the center of the saw blade to the fence, the carriers are adjusted and then clamped into place on the backstop. In order to make the actual cut, we take our door, place it face down, slide it under one fence and up against the other. We then slide it in to make the cut. I'll turn the saw on now, and we'll proceed to make the first cut. Pull the door out, slide it under the other fence and up against the first fence, and in to make the second cut. We now have our notches cut, one here and one here. The next machine we want to show you is the Hinge knife hinge slot cutting machine manufactured by Kaufman Custom Kitchens. This machine also consists of two hinge stops. Position the door under one stop and against the other, and then push the door forward to make the cut. Reverse the process to make the other cut. As you can see, the stops on this machine are also adjustable. And now we will make an actual cut. Again, reversing the process against one stop and under the other. Slide the table forward, and we now have our slots cut exactly where we need them. One here and one here. The next step is to actually install the hinge onto the door. We do that by positioning the hinge on the door so that it's flush with the edge of the door. Simply take and install screws into the slotted holes. And then we can do the same thing on the other hinge. Position the hinge in the proper position. Install the screws. And that's that. The next step is to install the door onto the cabinet itself. We have a little tool here that we call an easy mount. It consists of a shelf and a mounting block which actually clips behind the face frame and provides a shelf to set the door on. In this case, we've adjusted the shelf so that it's 1/2 inch below the bottom of the opening. Simply place the door onto the shelf, position the hinges in place, and then attach the hinges to the face frame with a screw. Once we have attached both hinges, we can then remove the easy mount and the installation is complete. Youngdale Manufacturing has been in business for over 30 years. Youngdale invented the self-closing knife hinge and has been and still is considered the Cadillac of the industry.